My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. I'll do it, my friends. I'm just trying to help make a little money. My job's not just entertainment, but to put it all in context, so call me at 1-800-743-CNBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. The $1 trillion stock club is hard to join. Well, we've got Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta enshrined there. Those stocks are doing unbelievably well. Sure, one of these companies could slip back, but right now, I'm actually more focused on who could be the next to trade above $1 trillion. Now, it's an amazing day for the bulls, where the Dow gained 429 points, S&P climbed 1.02%, and the Nasdaq jumped 1.18%. Huge moves, with the S&P taking out the 5,600 level. I think it's worth going over the contenders, the companies closest to joining the $1 trillion club. Because for the most part, these are not traditional technology plays. Of course, it's not just the companies themselves that are driving things. We have a benign backdrop going here. Today, the Fed Chief Jay Powell, this time in front of the House, once again sounded dovish, meaning we're likely going to get some rate cuts, and they fuel rallies. However, earnings season starts tomorrow, so we'll soon be back in real-world mode, where valuations move in response to the actual numbers, not the price targets or the estimate bumps from the analysts. So you could say this is where the rubber hits the road. Well, with what could be the end of the most buoyant period we've had in ages because of real earnings news, what company might be next to cross the $1 trillion threshold? Let's look at the 8 that come closest, going in descending order, and believe me, some are really descending. First is Eli Lilly. By the way, I could hit this for every one of these because they're so good. At just over $893 billion, Lilly seems to be well on its way to $1 trillion market capitalization. They got the world's hottest drug, this GLP-1 formulation, helping diabetics and overweight, but it could also help many others: cardiovascular disease, fatty liver disease, hypertension, and perhaps many other indications. Lilly can't meet demand and is furiously trying to build more factories, high-quality problem. It also has a new drug to fight Alzheimer's that could be a blockbuster. I nominate Lilly as the next to join the $1 trillion club. Second, Berkshire Hathaway. Now, this is a very close second, and just under $893 billion, and I could easily see this one crossing the $1 trillion barrier. Lots of moving parts here. A mosaic with an overweighting to insurance through Geico. Apple's a swing factor here, right? They got a monster-sized position in Berkshire. A lot of industrial exposure. Berkshire can go over $1 trillion, but I think would actually need lower interest rates, as Wall Street seems convinced that lower rates help this stock more, say, than any sort of the technology names. Even as I'd argue there's enough here to go higher regardless of short-term direction of interest rates. There's always some trepidation about Warren Buffett's age. I think that Berkshire could certainly go trillion in a couple of months' time at this pace. The top two, though, could easily be surpassed by the real wild card in the group if we get one more surge in the stock of the unsinkable Tesla, which has been up for 11 straight days. Now, these days, Tesla's being pitched as more of a technology company than an automaker. At $840 billion, they just need to demonstrate that Tesla Energy could become a much bigger piece of the business. We know that Tesla's vehicle sales are leveling off after a period of decline. We know their self-driving initiatives could be the biggest thing going. It's certainly what Elon Musk seems to believe in. He'll talk about it at the August 8th robo-taxi presentation. We also want to hear about what he's saying about China, because China is allowing robo-taxis in several of its cities. Now, it could end up being a gigantic market. This one's got a lot of momentum. The next techie liable to reach the $1 trillion club is Broadcom. We don't talk about enough, symbol AVGO, the tech empire built by Hock Tan that's integral to the data center. Broadcom helps connect the best of NVIDIA's chips to the networks of the world. It's difficult to imagine how the data center, or AI, would work without Broadcom. Without it, look, it's got a tagline it'll keep you remembering. It's called Connecting Everything. We own the stock for the Chapel Trust. Been a big winner for us because we believe its recent acquisition of VMware is just beginning to get integrated, and because its other businesses related to cell phones, well, that's about to heat up thanks to the new product cycle. All the cell phone components say were bid up because of some very bullish projections for Apple phones. But Broadcom stock barely moved. That seems wrong to me. And you know what? I think this is one where you have to, even though I don't like to buy right ahead of a stock split because there's usually so much churning. Now, there's so much to like here, not the least of which is this stock split? Let's talk about it. It's a 10-for-1 split. It's effective next Monday. That will make Broadcom shares more accessible to you regular investors. At $812 billion, its market cap, I think it's an easy striking distance. But Nvidia went down for a while after it did its split, and so did Chipotle. So just be aware. I like the situation, but I am worried about the overhang of the split. There's a huge drop-off after Broadcom, but any of these could catch up if we get favorable sector rotation in the next couple of years. Yeah, years, not months, because these are way down. Can a bank, for example, ever be worth $1 trillion? If anyone can, it's J.P. Morgan, which reports Friday morning. Now, this is a $597 billion situation. The numbers are up at 800. There's nothing in this 600, 700 area. But it'd be a huge stretch to see this one go to $1 trillion. But think about it like this. J.P. Morgan, the best bank in the world, sells for only 12 times earnings. I think that's way too low. It's way lower than the average stock in the S&P. And if the Fed starts cutting rates, then I think this one could undergo some huge multiple expansion, especially if the company also reports a blockbuster set of numbers on Friday. In the end, J.P. Morgan has generated a level of earnings consistency that merits a much higher stock price. Many thought that the last quarter was weak and the stock just got clobbered. But, it's come all the way back. Clean, resilient. Don't rule out $1 trillion, but it's going to take a couple of years. However, if there's anything at the $500 billion level that could double, and double within a reasonable period of time, I bet it's Walmart at $566 billion right now. America's largest retailer is experiencing an amazing moment. It's pulling away from all the other retailers, save Amazon and Costco, which, by the way, just raised its membership fee tonight and keeps rewarding Investing Club members because we've owned it forever. Walmart has an e-commerce initiative that's so strong, so broad, that it's attracting a huge following, although it takes some time to make it truly formidable. This morning, Piper Sandler said that Walmart could have $14 billion in ad revenue by 2030. Now, that's got to be pulled forward for this company to hit $1 trillion. What I like most is the Walmart Plus membership initiative. Recently, Walmart offered important discounts on fuel at Exxon and on flights, hotels, car rentals for the summer season. Take a look at the bargains. It's all on the website. It's really pretty amazing. There are so many different deals and discounts that it's become one of the most attractive loyalty programs in the world, if not, frankly, the most attractive. Seventh is Visa, and it took it on the chin today with a downgrade from Bank of America, questioning whether the company can grow sales above 10% over the next 5 years. Visa is the quiet half-trillionaire. It just continues to be the asset-light, risk-free financial technology play that doesn't get talked about enough, given how consistent it is. But can Visa tack on another $500 billion in market cap? I think they'd need to make, multiple decisions, maybe multiple acquisitions to have something happen like that, and I don't see that happening. Finally, there's ExxonMobil, which was the largest company in America all the way back in 2011. Before that, it had been a fixture in the top 5 list for many years. The ascendance of tech knocked it well off its perch, but at $502 billion, look, let's just a little speculate here. It's not a stretch to imagine Exxon joining the trillionaire club. If oil prices were to truly spike, the earnings would soar, and this stock would indeed go substantially higher. I'm not betting on higher oil, but it could definitely happen at some point in the next 2 years. So let me give you the bottom line on this speculative piece that I put together here. There's no trillion-dollar derby. Nobody's really doing any handicapping, maybe except for me. But I think it would matter if a non-tech could crack into the sainted billionaire circle, because that would call the most bearish judgment into question. That judgment is that we're merely riding a tech bubble. To me, it's going to be Lilly up next, but the sheer popularity of Tesla might allow Musk to sneak back into the top rung, turning the Super Six back once again into the Magnificent Seven. Ron in Florida. Ron.
Hey, Jim. So what happened to Netflix today, given the higher price targets, and what direction do you see the price going into Friday's close before earnings next week?
I have to tell you that Netflix has become so loved that I was actually glad that it got cooled off a little bit today, because every day another analyst, I actually put this in my memo. I sent a memo out too about the 10 things that I'm looking at for club members, and I put together initially in my first cut, I said enough with the Netflix already. You can't just keep raising them the same thing. That's what people are doing. Let's wait and see, but I think it's fine. Mike in Illinois. Mike.
Hey, Jim, thanks for taking my call.
Of course, Mike, good to have you on the show.
All right, I'm very curious why that the stock of Wingstop is selling off. It's down about 12% since its high a couple weeks ago.
Let me give you my answer to that one, Mike. We happen to have Brinker, which is Chili's one, later this evening. And this whole group has come under pressure ever since McDonald's cut its price and offered that value package. Everybody thinks that that you can't get the big deal anymore at these guys versus McDonald's. I think they're wrong. I think Wingstop's a buy. Let's go to Steve in Missouri, please. Steve.
Hey, Jim. I always appreciate talking to you.
Thank you, Steve. How can I help?
I'm calling about one of our club stocks, Lindy. It rocketed higher when it reported earnings in February, and then it reported earnings in May, and it's been struggling. Where are you on Lindy?
Okay, I got to get Sanjeev Lambo on the show. He's the CEO. Here's what I think happened. Lindy had an amazing run, like many of the industrials, and then it didn't have a blowout quarter, and the stock didn't get hit, but it didn't go higher. It needs to be able to show, I would say, a reignition of growth, of volume growth. That's what it really needs, is volume growth. And I'm going to touch base with Jeff Marks again tomorrow on this. We do have a club monthly meeting next week where I think I should bring it up after your great question. Thank you. Now, I think the Bears have to take note if a non-tech company can crack into the glorified $1 trillion club, because it would end the idea that we're merely just riding one more big tech bubble like in the year 2000. On Mad Money tonight, fast food fans are growing frustrated with the rising cost of combo meals, but could casual dining chains like Chili's be filling the void? Kind of like the question we just got about Wingstop. I'm sitting down with the CEO of Brinker to find out that what the heck is going on with the stock of Hims and Hers. I'm giving you my take on the volatile action. And you know the famous question, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? But what about if lumber prices fall in the market? I'm searching for answers, so stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.